Good morning and welcome to Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Bodun.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
Okay, it's the start of a new day and we are glad to have you on the show. We will kick off with today's newspaper review before diving into the main conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to miss a moment with us. You can join the conversation by dropping your comments, liking and following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. So joining us to share the matters at hand is Barrister Is Greatness. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for your time.
Yeah.
Now let's kickstart today with the Guardian newspaper, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So the big story: Nigeria's press at 166. So the Nigerian press is celebrating 166 years. Old battles linger amid new threat. Fight for survival and truth.
True. So on the top strip we have Yoruba Ronu Hog urges Tinubu to address Nigerians on genocide U.S. threats.
And also we have Tinubu vows to defeat terrorism as U.S. plans military options.
We also have FG bars sale of FAAN assets, approves airport concession biometric upgrades.
And also we have Senate orders NAFDAC to outlaw sachet alcoholic beverages by December 31.
Very true. Still on the top strip, we have Damagum tightens grip as PDP state chairman disown rival leadership.
And also anxiety tight security as Anambra elects new governor tomorrow.
Okay, still beside that, we have report ranks Nigerian state health emergency preparedness below 30%.
All right, 68% of electricity consumers bypassing prepaid meters. Did you get that?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. Barrister, I'd love us to take care of this matter of electricity. 68% of electricity consumers bypassing prepaid meters, and that's coming from the federal government. It's a perennial issue, Barrister. You would agree with me. At least I am. I would love to be identified as a culprit. You know, many years ago, while we were still young people in secondary school, you know, because of the high cost of electricity at the time, right? We will have a way of, removing the wire and, bypassing when NEPA cuts and all that. You know, from those days in the 80s up until now, we have band A, band B, and band E. It's still the same issue. How do you think we can better arrest the situation where Nigerians feel they don't need to pay for electricity for reasons best known to them?
It's simple now. It's self-explanatory. Provide electricity. Provide reliable electricity. Provide regular electricity. You know, many a times when light comes now, they say, up NEPA.
Yes, sir.
You know, a secondary school classmate of mine came to Nigeria. He stays in UK for the first time with his daughter. And then before he knew, in the evening, the daughter started shouting, "Daddy, I'm blind, I'm blind, I'm blind, I'm blind, I'm blind." So the dad rushed to the daughter and checked her and saw that there was nothing wrong with her eyes. And when he looked around, he saw that NEPA has taken the light. And the daughter has never experienced power failure before in her entire life. So because NEPA took the light, she thought, she could not understand that it was NEPA that took light, but that she was physically blind. And so from that scenario alone, you can see that because of the lack of electricity provision in Nigeria, we are all actually blind. We are blind. We are blind to facts. We are blind to realities. We are blind to civilization. We are blind to living an average normal life. Average normal life. We are blind to it. So so when you provide sufficient, adequate regular power supply, you now create the leverage. You now create the leverage for Nigerians to be ready, be willing, be desirable, consistently to pay for electricity that they consume. What we are actually doing now, majority of Nigeria, is paying for darkness. We are paying for provision of darkness. We are paying for irregular power supply. We are paying for power outage. Power, every day we hear this transformer has broken down. The national, last year alone, from our account, the national grid collapsed not less than 3 times. 3 times the national grid collapsed without any apology to consumers, without any credible explanations to Nigeria, without any assurance that the national grid will never collapse again. Nobody was sacked, nobody resigned, nobody was punished, there was no audit, there was no probe, there was no panel set up, there was no recommendation, there was no white paper report, there was no prescription on what should we do so that we should be saved in terms of what should we do so that such a scenario will not repeat itself. And this is a country that is talking about being able to attract foreign investment. How can you attract foreign investment in such a scenario? So you can see that power supply is a national security issue. Power, adequate, regular, reliable power supply is an economic issue. Okay. It's an issue that will enhance economic growth and development. So coming back to where I took off from, if people are assured that they will even get 15 power supply of 15 hours a day, and they will pay for power consumed and not pay for darkness, then they will now inculcate in them that desire to meet their bill, especially now too that we have prepaid reading. So it's just, if, for example, now does MTN, Glo, and the other network, do they go and drug their customers to pay for services? Do they? Is it not when you buy your that you use? If there's network disruption, who suffers? Is it only the consumer or the network providers? Do we need to be calling Glo, calling network that I'm not having network? Do the needful? You don't, because they know that their profit, their business, their well-being depends on it. And so power provision in Nigeria, adequate power supply will continue to be a mirage to us Nigerians.
Okay, thank you. You know, I just used to wish we could just have a country where we don't even get to shout this up NEPA. You know, there should be steady light.
In fact, that's the first thing any child, you know, gets to learn. In fact, that's the first word a Nigerian child, you know, gets to learn.
And you'll be wondering, okay, up NEPA. And even if that child gets exposed and travel out and all of that, there will be this missing, and maybe the child sees that, okay, this place I'm having the steady light. You know, there will be this, oh, I think Nigeria should be like this too. So there will be this comparison. Thank you so much, His Greatness. So I think we should look at another.
Yes, let's look at the story, Barrister. Tinubu vows to defeat terrorism as U.S. plans a military option. Barrister, have you observed suddenly that the administration of President Bola Tinubu now understands what good governance is? No one is talking about defection any longer. Every ministry, parastatals, the military architecture, every single person within this administration suddenly realizes what they should be doing right.
Yeah.
So do you think this big brother role of America is working effectively, especially for Nigeria?
Well, we discussed this issue on Tuesday.
Yes.
And I told you that this is one of the best news that has come to Nigeria in 10 years, since 2015, since the emergence of late former President Muhammadu Buhari. This is the best news that we Nigerians have received with joy and with thanksgiving. Because if it is clear that we Nigerians, who are the employers of government, by the way, we are the employers of those in government. But both we could not hold the government of the day accountable, and the media too. The responsibility of the media is to hold government, judicial government, and legislative government, executive government, hold them accountable. But even they have refused, these arms of government have completely refused to be held accountable by the citizenry, by the media, by the...
Are you still there, Barrister?
But thanks be to God. Thanks be to God that because no country exists in isolation, despite your claim to sovereignty, despite Nigerians' claim that it's a sovereign nation, he still owes other international bodies, other nationalities of the world. He owes them the obligation to be held accountable in his conduct, in the way it carries out his governance, in his principal obligation, which is security and welfare of citizens, shall be the primary purpose of governance. Since we Nigerians and the media cannot hold our own government accountable, many things against has been able to hold the government of the day fully accountable, fully alive to its responsibility that has been neglected for 10 years now and counting. So, of course, it's a wonderful development. It has put the government of the...
Are you still there? Well, I think...
all right, let's hope that his connection, Barrister's connection would come back. And of course, he was...
And address the embarrassing security situation that we have continued to see ourselves. I don't know, can you still hear me?
Very well, so we can hear you.
I'm on the way, I'm traveling also.
It's okay, no problem. It's okay, thank you for your time. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very wonderful development, and we are so thankful to God for this. You can imagine that in just the past few years, so people will enter a community, kill 200 people, nobody will be arrested, nobody will be persecuted. In fact, the killers are not known. They will move again to another community. Security agencies and forces will come 5 to 10 hours after the deed has been done. And this has been the experiences of northern Nigeria for well over 7 years, 8 years. And we are saying that America is intruding. How is America intruding? America is acting based on the humanitarian concern. It's lost forever. So, of course, it's a welcome development. And I hope that the Americans, too, with Donald Trump, will even go further after this security issue to go into holding Nigerians accountable to free and fair elections. I want Donald Trump to pledge and to threaten to deploy American security forces to be the one who will monitor the election of year 2027. I want the Americans to say they will come and station, our police and army should be withdrawn, should stay in their barracks. Why it is the American forces that will be stationed in all polling units, all polling booths, all wards in Nigeria, and provide security.
Oh, okay.
To conduct 2020. The next issue Donald Trump will dwell on. Let us see whether 2027 and the election there will be glitches. Let us see whether in 2027 election there will be ballot box snatching. Let us see whether in 2027 election there we will see results, unsigned results being accepted by INEC. Let us even see whether in 2027 election there will be a form of electoral violence. So I hope that Donald Trump will be encouraged and motivated to take and holding government alive to take it to the next level, 27 electoral process.
Awesome, very great, and it's a welcome thing actually, because you know there's this big brother role is so very important. You know, when a younger brother refuses to do the needful, you know, the big brother should always be there. And I love to believe you know, Donald Trump is doing an amazing job, even if lots of Nigerians might not agree.
I agree with it. I was not coming to that because what do you think about what His Greatness Agadarigo said? Do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be possible for the U.S. to, you know, deploy that?
Well, he's actually being hyperbolic here. It wasn't actually stated that, of course, because we know it's not possible. America will not leave their trouble and come here to help us do our trouble. The only thing they might do is to ensure that there is accountability, especially with our main conversation, you understand, which will be kicking off very soon on how the United States is beginning to hold people accountable. You know, maybe this and more would be possible. But Barrister, in the next 60 seconds, if we may, because that's the time we have for this particular segment before we move on to the main conversation, and we have it here, Barrister, that NAFDAC is actually looking up to disallowing the sale of alcoholic products in sachet by December 31st. As much as we love the action of doing that, right, so as to save our drivers and passengers, because those are the biggest customers of those sachet alcoholic brands, do you think this would affect our companies, our industries, our factories, and definitely affecting jobs in the country? If you weigh both, how do you balance it, Barrister?
First of all, I disagree with NAFDAC in its entirety, in its bid to now ban sales of sachet alcoholic beverages. That's not the issue. That's not where NAFDAC should pitch its tent. His concern is that those sachet alcoholic beverages, are they below standard? Are they below standard? Are they different from the content of those sold in bottles and other containers? Are they different? That's you know, Nigeria, once you give somebody small power, he runs riots and try to do what other people should be doing. That's no business of NAFDAC. That's the concern of NAFDAC. You must base your policies must align to your mandate, your statutory mandate. The statutory mandate of NAFDAC.
Are you still there? Okay. We would join you
All right. All right. So we hope that Barrister would reconnect back with us. And so he was speaking to the issue of NAFDAC. He said he is not in agreement, right, with the National Assembly asking NAFDAC to stop the sales.
Okay, just give me a few minutes.
All right, please. We will do that gladly. So speaking to that. So what's your take?
Okay, I will come from the angle of when he said content, like the one in the bottle and the one in the sachet, right? So for me, I feel they are the same thing. He was talking about, okay, looking at these two different content.
Yes.
Well, it's still the same thing.
Content.
But yeah, it's still the same content, but
different
packaging, right?
Medium,
yeah. So the thing is, I feel that it's still the same thing. So even if it's in a bottle or it's in a sachet, it should be, for me, I would even support NAFDAC.
Okay, to stop it.
Yeah, to stop it. But it's not going to be too, it shouldn't be too soon. At least there should be like a creating awareness that, okay, this is what we are coming with this kind of initiative. And please, even if they want to do that, they should try and make sure that there should be they should give these people that are selling it, there should be like a provision of job. There should be this job security. They should have a way of providing them with another thing they can do, right? I hope I'm not really too punchy on my, but I just feel it is going to curb so many situations.
All right.
For instance, accidents, road accidents,
exactly.
Those things.
All right, so Barrister is here with us. So Barrister, okay. you had the thought there. Can you continue just before we call it a wrap for this segment?
As I'm talking to you now, I'm traveling in Nigeria. Right. When we get to a military check, we are not allowed to use our phone.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why I had to.
Yes, I understand.
Sorry. Okay, so coming into the matter, the point I'm making is that every agency of government must stay in their statutorily assigned lane. No matter how zealous you are, stay NAFDAC. Please, can you kindly stay in your lane? Stay in your lane. Let other agencies of government charged with regulating drivers' conduct. We have a Federal Road Safety Corps. We even have the police. Let them carry those functions. Let them bother about that. The fact that you now ban sachets, alcoholic beverage. Okay, you want the drivers to now buy a bottle of Ogogo, the real raw alcohol.
But Barrister, no one is required to drink and drive.
Who have been charged. Sorry, Mr. Igwe. Yes. Who have been statutorily mandated to ensure that when driving, no drinking. When driving, no making of calls. When driving, do not engage in any distraction for your own safety and the safety of other road users. So charge those agencies of government to carry out their functions. Do not try to do everything. You are not a Superman. You can be as good as you are when you do your statutorily assigned function. No matter how wonderful your intentions may be, it does not really matter. Your strength, your energy, your vibrancy, and your effectiveness can only be assessed when you carry out within your statutorily assigned role. And what I want to see the new improved NAFDAC, if I will call the new management team of NAFDAC that way, is carry out extensive research to figure out whether the alcoholic content in bottles and other packages are exactly the same with the alcoholic content in alcoholic beverage sachets. That's number one. Secondly, what I want NAFDAC to do for me is also check whether putting alcoholic content inside sachet does it pose any health risk? Does it pose any health? You know, there's so many kinds of cancers these days.
Yeah.
Does it lead to maybe a cancer of alcohol, or a cancer that can be gotten from alcohol? Maybe when the alcoholic beverage stays in a sachet that is very light, that is, I think, propylene. The propylene now has a way of dissolving into the alcoholic beverage and pose a serious and existing health danger to the consumer. If this is the concern of NAFDAC, then I'm in support of this their quest. But if their concern is about drivers not drinking and driving, then I completely disagree with them, and I urge them to maintain focus on their clearly spelled out statutory
mandates.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so very much, Barrister. Even if we just learned now that the reason the National Assembly is asking them to do that is because of its abuse by younger people, by young lads, you know, young people below the age of 18, because it's often said, don't drink unless you are 18 and above. But because it's sold in sachet, lots of young people, of course, abuse it. And a reason why you see most of them engage in very nefarious activities that is not, you know, welcoming a lot. So that's all we have for this particular segment. Barrister, I'd love to believe you will still be around. I know you are on a transit. I just hope you'll be around to help us with our main conversation, if that's fine.
Try my best. I'm here with you, but I hope network will allow.
Yes, I hope
network will allow.
Yeah, I hope network will allow. So let's do that in a jiffy. That is when we return. U.S. lawmakers move to impose visa bans, asset freezes on Miyetti Allah and its members. That in a bit is still Enterprise Friday. Don't go anywhere. Right back.